Yehudit Katzova, Nadia Matar, Sovereignty Movement. Shalom.
Shalom Yoni, Shalom Arutz Sheva.
So tell us what's really going on with the consulate in Jerusalem. We saw reports that there won't be any consulate for the Palestinians in Jerusalem built by the United States of America. Then the USA said that there will be. Where's this standing?
First of all, we have to thank and welcome the fact that there is no Palestinian consulate, U.S. consulate for the Palestinians in Jerusalem, thanks to a lot of people who also joined us, over 20 organizations, extra-parliamentary organizations who joined us for many protests at the time, and others who got involved. And then, indeed, there were rumors that they're claiming that they're reopening, and so we checked it out. We're constantly with our hand on the pulse to make sure that it doesn't happen. And what we understood is that they had to make the statement that they continue to push for it, but they also understand that with this government that they're not going to be able to open a consulate. But that doesn't mean that we can go to sleep. The very fact that they don't open a consulate doesn't mean that Jerusalem is not in danger. And that is the message that we want to pass on. Yehudit and I, under the Sovereignty Movement, organize sovereignty tours to check the level of sovereignty in different areas in the country, whether it's the Galil, the Negev, the mixed cities,
and the capital
of Israel, Jerusalem. We had a tour with Baruch Yedi, the commentator of Arutz 14, and he opened our eyes to the fact that Jerusalem is in danger, and even people on the right are not aware of how bad the situation is. Number one, demographically. There's 60% Jews and 40% Arabs. That has to be changed because we are in danger of, God forbid, having elections where an Arab mayor could, God forbid, come to power. Number two, the illegal Arab construction in Jerusalem is out of proportion. Tens of thousands of units are being built and nothing is being illegally by the Arabs in Jerusalem and nothing is done about it. Something that he taught us and opened our eyes is the influence and the input of international organizations and countries in Jerusalem to try to do everything to take away the control of the Jews, whether it's Morocco, whether it's the Palestinian Authority, of course, whether it's Hamas, whether it's Saudi Arabia. It's unbelievable how they're having an input and an influence and how they're being allowed to, and Jordan, of course, to do. And the most worrisome part is the fourth issue, which Baruch Yedid divulged to all of us, and that is the national outline plan that they have for Greater Jerusalem, that the Arabs, the Palestinian Authority, invested close to $1 million to plan how Jerusalem will be in 2030. That's how they call it, the 2030 plan. And it's outrageous. Where is the state of Israel? We, the Sovereignty Movement, with the little monies we have, we made a national outline plan for Greater Jerusalem.
So wait, really the solution that you're talking about, when they're talking about, the Palestinian Authority talking about Greater Jerusalem, you're talking about a solution you define as Jerusalem metropolis?
We are promoting, the Sovereignty Movement is promoting the Greater Jerusalem plan in order to, which means to expand the borders of Jerusalem, turn it into a metropolis, include in it, you want to call it annex, to include in it Gush Etzion, Ma'ale Adumim, Beitar, remind me, Yehudit, Givat Ze'ev, and areas of Binyamin, etc., to make sure that would add over 250,000 Jews to Jerusalem. There is different opinions. There's different people working on it. Chaim Silberstein of Keep Jerusalem is working on one plan, also Minister Israel Katz. But the idea is the same idea, expanding, making Jerusalem greater. Jerusalem also deserves to be bigger as our capital, to be much bigger. There's many question marks about it, but one thing is for sure. We have to sit down and do it in order to save Jerusalem from a danger. And that is the topic we're going to discuss at our Sovereignty Conference too.
Now, you're mentioning the conference. You're promoting your ideals, your activity, and you're doing it through the youth. And that's very interesting, your decision to really strengthen the youth, actually. Tell us about that.
The youth is the future. The youth is the future of our country. The youth are the future leaders. And we found out, Judith and I, when we speak in Oswegon to many groups, that unfortunately there's a lot of youth that is unaware of a lot of history, etc. And luckily, 5 years ago, we were contacted by youth who were called to prevent some kind of destruction in Elazar, in Nativ Avot. And they told us, we're sick and tired of you guys, adults, always calling us to prevent destructions. We understood that had there been sovereignty over Judea and Samaria, there wouldn't be destructions, we would be able to build, we would be able... They understood, they're very involved, and we founded the Sovereignty Youth Movement, and this is going to be on Thursday, 2 days from now, June 9th, in Bet Orot, in East Jerusalem, in Bet Orot, which is also a statement, the 4th Sovereignty Youth Convention, where we're going to have a lot of short speakers, because youth, it still is youth, so they have short speakers, rabbis, etc., and public figures. And together we will raise the flag of sovereignty over the whole land of Israel. We will raise the flag of united Greater Jerusalem, and we will basically prepare the future generation of leaders in Israel. It's, please God, going to be a big event. This is our opportunity to say thank you to all our partners who enable us to do this, the donors and the friends and supporters. And to join all of you, if you're watching this, tell your children and grandchildren to be part of this, because it is to be part of, to become a soldier for the land of Israel. You can be a soldier in the army after you're 18, and there are battles on the ground also, but there's also the battle of the consciousness. And today, the main battle for the land of Israel is in the consciousness, in the social media, all the Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and those are soldiers for the land of Israel, and we urge upon all the youth to join.
Okay, Judith Katzover, Nadia Matar, Sovereignty Movement, thank you very much.
Thank you, Yoni. Thank you, Arut Sheva.